Hello, everyone, and welcome to another X-Marks the Spot with me, your host, Richter Hammer. Um, Joining me as per usual is Marcus Shadow,
Sup?
Chriz the Mole,
Hello.
and James Phoenix.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so for today, we normally do 5 awards. We're just going to do 3 each because we will have some discussion on the recent unfortunate passing of Rowdy Roddy Piper, and also do our match and promo of the week. So I think we'll do the awards first, then match and promo, and then maybe close it out with Piper, unless anyone has an alternate suggestion that they would prefer.
You're the host. That sounds good to me.
All right. So for the first award, take it away, Jim.
Alrighty. So, I found something cool browsing the news for the week. I do not have any awards from Raw because we're having the meeting during it. I really wasn't paying that much attention to it, except for one specific thing we're going to talk about a little later. So my first award, it's called Beef Mode.
Okay.
Beef
Oh
Mode.
God, I know what that is.
Steve all knows what it is. So, Beef Mode. Apparently, Beef Mode is our newest WWE tag team.
Mm-hmm.
They worked Saturday's live event in Hidalgo, Texas, wearing matching ring attire, cut a promo how they were in better shape than all the fans. And said tag team of Beef Mode consists of Adam Rose and Brad Maddox. That is a thing.
I want to see this team.
I agree.
But it would have been better if they'd have put Fandango in there instead.
Now, Rose
Brad
also
Maddox.
went as far as referring to him and Maddox as BFFs, and then they were doing push-ups and jogging around the ring.
Are they face or heel?
I don't know. It sounds
Based
like
on
they're
the-
heel. Based on the
based-
gimmick, it sounds heel.
Based on the fact they're saying we're more in shape than all of you idiots, I'm guessing the heel.
Fair enough.
For the benefit of anybody who would like to see, just if you guys want to comment on it, if you look at the Skype call down that we still had up there is a link. There's a picture of the tag team. I'd like to
Yeah.
see what they're in their athletic towels and ring attire.
And like I said, I like this gimmick from the sounds of it. It sounds pretty
Wow,
cool.
Adam Rose has arms. Holy crap.
Yeah, so from the sounds of it, it sounds pretty cool. And it also sounds like they've changed Adam Rose's gimmick.
Again,
Well,
But
I-
Brad Maddox has been working out, too. Jesus.
Yeah. Again, which I will make the case it kind of needed it, because without the Rosebuds, as much as I liked him with Rosa Mendez, he wasn't getting much publicity, and they were putting him on main event and stuff. So
Yeah.
if this can get him onto the main roster and maybe get gold on him or something, or whatever the fucking color of those titles are, that could be cool.
I believe the color is penny copper.
Are they actually called Beef Mode?
That is what they were referred
Oh,
to
there it
as
is. Hashtag
mode.
Beef Mode. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. It is right there. Are the people in WWE Hidalgo ready for at WWE Adam Rose and at Brad Maddox's WWE teaming as beef mode? Hashtag beef mode.
it looks like Brad Maddox is cosplaying as Val Venus for some
Yeah, that's what I was
It
about to say.
does. It does.
I like the comments below because I didn't even think about it until someone was like, I don't think at Val Venus is gonna like this very much. And I was like, oh yeah, he does look like Val Venus.
Yeah.
I will
Or
also
hashtag
say,
Val Venus.
I will also say, Jim, the name came about because WWE wants to unload the misprinted Brie Mode t-shirts.
That makes sense now.
I'm kidding, but how amazing would that be? Like,
That'd be
how the hell
hilarious.
do you misprint Brie Mode as Beef Mode? How are we going to sell this? Adam Rose just walks in as, I'm still hired, right? Beef Mode, yes, there you go, find a partner.
Perfect. I was just happy to see Brad Maddox doing something again. I always liked him.
I liked him as well.
He's cool.
But I will
I've
say, I don't know what he's like in the ring, because I was only used to him as GM, but I really liked him as that GM mode.
Yeah.
Although I will notice something interesting though. If you take a close look at this picture, if you take a look at the image, take a look at the one you can see of the front one of Brad Maddox's boot. It says "kick" on it.
Okay.
I just thought that was cool. Oh, it's a kick boot. That's funny. There's something written on his other boot, but you can't read it because of the angle, unless they both say kink, which they might.
One says kick, one says ass.
Ah, nice.
It's up to you which way you word those.
Yeah. Fair enough. I thought that was cool that he wrote things on his boots because you don't see that very often. Normally there's maybe like a logo, but you don't really see words on boots. That's my award, beef mode.
All right. Your first award, Marcus.
All right. My first award is the Never Say That Again award.
Mm.
And it goes to JBL for saying like a boss. Because, no, JBL, no. You do not sound cool saying like a boss. And, not trying to be regionist or anything, but with that Texas twang, like a boss just doesn't sound right coming out of your mouth, dude. Like a boss! I'm like, no, that does not sound cool, man.
On behalf of Richter, I'm going to step in and say it probably sounds better than it does coming from Corey Graves.
And I'm just gonna step in and say, to be fair to JBL, this month he's not the Hall of Famer who said the thing he shouldn't have the most. Just saying.
That is true.
Yes, I had to get it worked out because number one, he said it way too much during that match, and number two, he never should have said it in the first place because it did not sound right.
Like a boss, Michael.
That's pretty much what it sounded like. I was like, no, Garth Brooks should never say like a boss.
It's the name of his next album. Wow. All right. So, your first award, take it away, Mole.
My first award is named after our very own Marcus Shadow, and it's called Seamless Transition.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's because over here on Sky Sports, what we got was it showed Renee Young backstage on Raw, and she goes, "Please welcome," and then it just cut straight to the adverts. Don't even know how she was interviewing. It's just Renee Young with "Please welcome," and it's the adverts. I'm like, wow, what a seamless transition into the adverts that was.
Yeah.
Nice.
For those in the UK who don't know, she was interviewing John Cena.
Oh, I was gonna say, did she sell out? And she's just like, so that was the break for the ads.
Yes.
Please welcome Michelin.
Yeah.
That needs to be a thing now. You know, like the old, like some of the Japanese ones too, where they have those eye catch things for the adverts. Like between every Raw break needs to have her say, "Please welcome," and then that.
Yeah. There we go.
I can't even remember what they're called. I assume they're eye catchers. I thought they were eye catchers.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good.
All right. For my first award, I call it the 4 Moves of Doom. During the Summer Games Done Quick stream, there was this is vaguely wrestling related, but there was donation incentives to name the different Pokemon things for the speedrun of Pokemon Blue, and so one of the ones that won that they picked was they named I think it was the Mew. They named it John Cena. It just reminded me of that awesome demotivational poster with but John Cena can only learn 4 moves. I was like, that's nice. And they're making.
Yeah, although judging by the recent U.S. title challenges, apparently he evolved past that and he can know more moves now.
No, he said on the Jericho podcast he still only knows 5 at a time. He just rotates some out.
Yeah.
No, the U.S. title is his Mega Evolution Stone, so therefore he can learn more moves while he has that on him.
Pokemon can't learn more moves when they Mega Evolve, you dipshit.
Well, John Cena can. It's Cinnamon. He has that ability.
Okay then. No,
We
he's
hear
not a
the
Digimon, he's not a Digimon.
We hear Pound to not condone Mega Evolutions.
That is true. Mega Evolution stuff, but still. Okay, John Cena's a legendary Pokemon?
He was, yeah. I think they named one of them John Cena, and then another one was John Cena with an exclamation point. So whenever he was like, "Go John Cena," and the guy's like, "I like that there's 2 exclamation points whenever he does it." They made a couple references to like, oh, the champ is here and stuff, and I was like, oh, they kind of know John Cena. That's cool.
Nice. Good times.
Okay, so Jim, your second award.
Sure. Ahem. My second award, because I'll say the other thing, because I know we're all going to bring that up later. My second award, I'm calling it Tough Enough, is awesome!
Okay, then.
Because it was announced that replacing Hulk Hogan on Tough Enough, because he's fired, because he's racist, more on that later, I'm assuming.
You're assuming he's racist?
No, I'm assuming we're going to talk about that more. Judging by last week's show. But no, and they announced that his replacement shall be The Miz.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do with him. Like, I don't know. Actually, let him wrestle.
To be fair, that is a completely invalid argument. Due to the fact one of the Tough Enough people is Paige, and she's on Raw wrestling every week.
True.
Yeah.
It's probably because Miz has that background of all the stuff he's done, like Tough Enough and stuff like that. It's like full circle. It's like when they made Daniel Bryan in NXT. How like mentor on one of the shows. So he's come full circle. He was a rookie, now he's a mentor. It's like, oh, he was on Tough Enough, now he's judging Tough Enough. Oh.
I feel they should have gotten another legend, but maybe that's just me. Like, I don't know, maybe they should have asked, like, Austin to do it or Shawn Michaels to do it or something, just so they'd have another legend, or Ric Flair. Someone who's not doing anything.
I would say chances are they would, if they were going to get another legend, it probably should have been either Bret Hart or Ric Flair.
I can see Bret Hart.
The only reason is Shawn Michaels is in the middle of the woods hunting stuff right now. And I'm pretty sure Austin mustn't have been able to do Tough Enough, or why the fuck isn't he the host of this one like he was last year? I'm pretty sure they would have asked him. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have forgotten to ask Austin.
True.
Like when they see him, like, oh, this is awkward, we forgot to ask him. He sees the Tough Enough sign, he's like, oh, cool, that's coming back up. When do I start filming, guys?
Actually, someone else I wouldn't mind seeing, another legend I wouldn't mind seeing as the judge, as one of the judges, is DDP. I think he'd be awesome.
I could see that.
That'd be cool. I'd be fine with that. And it should be noted that it was hinted by host Chris Jericho that third judge seat could rotate out on a weekly basis. So Miz may not be permanent.
Fair enough.
So we shall see.
They should have got Virgil.
They should have got Virgil.
Although, isn't that kind of bad for a competition to have a flex judge seat? Because, like, let's say, for instance, Miz gives some good critique or whatever for this week, and then next week he's not there, and of course the competitors wouldn't know about that, and whoever he gave that critique to maybe took it to heart and actually tried to do something with it, and then somebody else gets put into that seat. That's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, no, not
kind of unfair to that guy.
Not necessarily, because I'm assuming that anybody brought in will have had to watch the previous episodes to know what's going on and understand that. And also, they could, depending on the challenges they're doing that week, they could bring someone in that is, for example, relevant to whatever that challenge might be, or who they think would fit that particularly well. Like, for example, let's say they were doing a challenge where they had to get a guy up and demonstrate their power. Well, then maybe you'd have someone big and powerful like Batista on there or something like that as a guest. Stuff like that.
Yeah, for the on the day stuff, it's fine. I was talking about for moving on to the next day, because I've seen a lot of reality shows and competition shows like this where because they have static judges week to week or episode to episode. When the judges say you need to work on this or you need to work on that, they'll go back and work on that, work on this and work on that, and come back the following episode to prove to that judge I worked on it. But if you have a rotational judge spot, you can't do that as a competitor, because who are you trying to prove that you took that to heart? The judge that told you to do it's not there anymore. I think that's kind of unfair to the competitor.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not supposed to take it just to impress a judge. You're supposed to take it to improve yourself and to do it for you.
You are.
And having a rotational judge there also gives them the benefit of having that feedback from a potential variety of superstars and legends that have a different variety of different experiences, different skills, different abilities, and different advice to impart. So they're actually learning more overall.
Yeah, well, I will say, yeah, I could see Marcus's point, and that is a valid point. I would also say, for me personally with that, it could be a good thing, because how many wrestlers, like big named wrestlers, have been passed over by various companies? Like ECW, WCW, and WWE all dropped the ball on big named people. Like, let's not forget, like Triple H, Austin, and Undertaker and shit all came from WCW, like Edge and stuff did, where they were told they're not going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Mick Foley was told he was never going to be marketable and stuff in WCW and ECW and stuff, and became world champion in WWE.
Hashtag Foley put my butt in his seat.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's been guys where WWE has been like, oh, Kurt Angle can't wrestle anymore. Boom. As much as TNA is failing now, that's not just on one dude. He's put on some great matches in TNA. So it's like, that judge could look at one of the wrestlers that may have been overlooked by the other people and put them through, because sometimes it takes just the right person to see that potential. Like, when CM Punk mentioned one of the only reasons he got into WWE and across the way he did was because Paul Heyman kept going to the bat for him, if that makes sense. So it's like maybe some of the tough enough people might need that. So it could go either way.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I want to see Kurt Angle come back, become the judge, and I want him to sit there every week and tell everybody, that was good, that was impressive. Now do it again with a broken freaking neck.
You should. All right, Marcus, your second award.
Fair enough. I do have to wonder, though, when Miz becomes the judge out there, if he's going to be the Miz or if he's going to be Mike.
I assume it's going to be like a hybrid.
Okay.
Only because the Miz wouldn't give advice to anyone unless it's to help himself. Which means he's going to be giving them advice, but he's going to be somewhat in character. Like, all of them are at least somewhat recognizable in their characters.
Well, no,
Right.
Miz would give people advice. He would give people advice on how to be more like him.
Ha! But yes, okay, so my second award. Before I give my second award, I wanted to give a second name to my first one, because I was just thinking another appropriate name would be the Where is Farouk When You Need Him award. Because I just envision Bradshaw going, like a boss, and Farouk just popping up, just kind of looking at Bradshaw, shaking his head, and just being like, damn.
Dang!
But my second award is the Chris Jericho award,
Yes!
and that goes to Lana for slapping an armbar on Summer Rae.
Nice.
I was like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? And when can I see more of this?
And I will say with the JBL thing, it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, it wasn't overly terrible. It's not as bad as like whenever the commentators and the American wrestlers tried to say the word arse.
True.
Americans cannot say that word.
Kiss me arse match.
This was also one of the rare occasions when JBL was actually stumbling over his words. I'm trying to remember what it is he was trying to say, but he kept saying the wrong word because he couldn't think of the right word to say. I was like, wow, dude.
He wasn't stumbling that much.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I don't remember what it was he was saying.
The reason he kept stumbling a little bit was because every time he was saying it, either Sasha or Michael Cole and stuff was interrupting him and saying other stuff at the same time.
No, it's not what the like a boss thing. He was trying to say something.
I didn't say that. I meant like every time he was trying to say it, every time he was going to say it, they kept interrupting him, and he was like, oh. And then he kept going to say it again, they interrupted him. Like, oh, okay.
Fair enough. But yeah, Lana out of nowhere with an armbar. I was like, wow, okay. Does that mean they're going to actually let her wrestle? That'd be awesome. I want to see more of this.
That was the idea. She's going to be the new next leader of the Divas division. That's kind of been stated by the dirt sheets for a long time.
Right.
And as we know, they're always accurate. I can't wait to see Sting in SummerSlam.
It could happen.
There's no mention of him yet. And they said he was going to have a match at SummerSlam. They probably worded it differently now. I'm guessing since we're only like 2 weeks away, they're probably backtracked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had to give Lana an award because that was cool.
Fair enough.
Nice. That was pretty cool.
All right, Mole, your second award.
And it plays a little into my second award. My second award was Viva the Revolution. Because, I'm sorry, this Divas Revolution they're doing, it's been fucking awesome. We had multiple Divas matches on Raw, all of which were great, more on one of them later. Focused on SmackDown was towards Becky, and with a replay of Raw, we've now got the hashtag Stone Cold Podcast returning this Raw with @RealPage WWE on it. Which, I'm looking forward to that. I think she's actually a really interesting replacement for Hogan, due to the fact, like I've said, she's been in the business pretty much all her life, which, it's kind of interesting to hear that stuff. And like I said, the focus they've been doing with the Divas all over the place, like you mentioned, like they've had them on commentary when they've had other matches going and all this other stuff. It's been really fucking great. I was worried, like we all said, when they first announced it, I was like, okay, this could be cool, but like everyone said, and I agreed, WWE could probably drop the ball on this. Mm-hmm. Right now, it feels like even if they do drop the ball on the angle in like a couple of weeks' time or a month's time or something, enough goods come from this that it won't undo it.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind if they drop the ball on the angle. It'll be disappointing. What I was afraid of is that they were going to stay in that we don't give a shit about the Divas mode kind of thing and not actually let them wrestle. But yeah, since the Revolution has started, they've actually let them wrestle, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We were worried they were going to drop the ball early on, which would be doing that. But now it's got to the point where even if they do drop the ball later on, so much goods happened, it doesn't matter. Enough goods happened that you can't really erase this as much or undo this. It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Back to Hammy.
All right. My second award, I call it left, right, BA select start for Xavier Woods' YouTube gaming channel, up, down, down. He had a crossover episode with the Excellent Adventures of Gutex and Mike Cross, where he learned to play the Street Fighter V beta, and it was pretty interesting just to watch him do that and to talk about, what did he call it? Mount Xavier? No, Mount Creed, that's right, for his bicep, and he had this little story about it, which was pretty funny. But yeah, it was actually really entertaining to see, especially if you saw him in the Street Fighter IV tournament that he held with some of the wrestlers a couple weeks ago, just to see him learning the basics of the beta and actually getting into it, which is weird. So puts him in the 1%. But yeah, it was actually pretty interesting, so recommend people.
I assume Austin Creed is his real name?
I assume so, yes.
Because if it is, then WWE makes me sad that they won't allow real names because they can't market them, because that's a fucking awesome wrestler name.
It's not because they can't market them, it's because they can't trademark them.
Yeah.
And if they were to fire him now, and he was to go to TNA, he won't be able to wrestle in TNA as Xavier Woods.
True.
For the record, that is not actually his real name. The Austin is, the Creed is not. Creed comes from his former TNA name, Consequences Creed.
Ah, fair enough.
However, his real name is Austin Watson, actually.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like I said, that sounded really fun, and yeah, I've been looking. I was hoping to get into that Street Fighter V beta, but I didn't get in. And I know they closed it fast, but that looks really fun anyway. I'm looking forward to that game.
Fair enough.
All right, so Jim, your third award?
All right, well, given that I get to go first, I guess I'm going to give mine and Marcus's third award. Since we know it's the same thing.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, you asked. So, I call this award, You Can't Smell Me.
I preferred my name.
My name for it is
then you should have
Rollback.
Yeah. What was that, Rick?
I said, well, then you should have left your award.
Yep. My name, Jim, was, that's a little on the nose.
Nice.
I still like mine. I like Rollback.
So, John Cena suffered a massively broken nose when Seth Rollins kneed him in the face during their main event match last past Monday night on Raw. It's been reported by WrestleZone.com that John Cena had to undergo a surgery on Tuesday to correct breathing issues stemming from this issue. It notes that reconstructive surgery may be required. Cena is no longer being advertised for the weekend's live events or this coming Monday's Raw. He's also been pulled for next weekend's live events tour of Australia. He had been the top advertised star for the 3-night tour, which already saw Hulk Hogan being replaced by Shawn Michaels as the guest GM for the shows.
I don't see how that's a bad thing.
So apparently Shawn Michaels is not out in the woods hunting shit.
If he's in Australia, isn't it all woods?
He's on the outback hunting shit.
That's not woods.
Yeah, that's not woods.
That's not woods. They might have trees somewhere in Australia, but not in the pictures I see. The outback's like Mad Max.
Oh, they do have big forests and stuff for like those big forest fires, but yeah.
Now we know they have trees.
I don't think
because...
that's why they have the forests, but
Yeah.
No, it's not. They don't have the
damn, we need forest fires too.
I only knew that they had the forests because of the forest fires in various stuff, like when I watched Home and Away and stuff like that. Like, they were all on the beach surfing, and suddenly, when a car crashes and explodes, it causes a forest fire. I'm like, oh, there was a forest nearby this whole time.
Yeah, we know there has to be forest down there because where else are they going to have trees to get the eucalyptus to feed the koala bears?
Amazon.
Yes.
And you could take that pun either way.
Nice. But yeah, so basically Cena's going to be out for at least a week or two. There may be more surgery needed on his nose. We don't know what the fuck Rollins did in total, but it was not pretty.
He did a tiger knee.
Tiger
Or an
knee.
X-ray attack, whichever you want to go with.
Okay.
It was more like an 8 on me, but yeah.
Yeah, that was either Seth Rollins, his knee was way too high, or it was Cena's blocking, because I didn't see him put his arm in front of his face like he normally does.
True.
Which, either way, the accidents like that do happen.
Yeah.
It might have been a combination of both. It might have been.
It could have been.
It might have been Rollins maybe jumped up too fast, so Cena didn't have time to block.
It could have been.
That's entirely possible.
Couldn't the award name be "You Can't See Me" on the next tour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't see me. My eyes are watering.
Yes.
Is it wrong? I just kind of wanted Ryback to hobble in and look at Seth as he was walking back. He'd be like, "Man," and I thought I was bad, and hobbled away.
And I will say to all of our thousands and thousands of Total Diva fans out there, hopefully this means Nikki Bella hasn't thrown away her nurse outfit she uses when she's looking after sick Cena.
Nice.
Not sure if anyone here watched that episode, but Nurse Nikki.
I feel like I need to watch that episode.
Yeah, she wears like this really like slutty nurse outfit on one of them when she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna look after you, Cena. See, I got a nurse outfit. I'm your nurse." And she's looking after it. It's awesome.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Was that when he like injured his arm or something?
I think that was when he injured his arm. Yeah, when he had that big like golf ball in his arm when he had to get the surgery and stuff.
The elbow, yeah.
Yeah, he had the elbow thing.
Fair enough.
It might have been afterwards. I can't remember I can't remember which injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sad
So-
I have to say that.
So her wearing a slutty nurse uniform, but his arm was injured before that? I'm confused.
Nice.
No. See, that precipitated the physical therapy that got his arm back in shape.
Are you doing your arm exercises? Oh, yeah. Oh, I dropped that quarter over there. Oh, silly boy. Yeah.
And once he's fucked her raw and she's all tired, she just roll underneath the bed and out come Brie. In the same outfit.
Wow.
I like to think that's how this happens. just like his ejaculation face needs to be the same one he had when Rusev, our hero, put him in the Accolade, and he was like, oh, with that screwed up face like Michael Cole's face against the glass. Oh.
Wow, we're horrible people.
It's on the light end of the WWE pornos we made up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
which were fantastic, by the way.
And to be fair, this is one of our nicest discussions.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so Marcus, was that also your third one then?
Yeah, the Raw bag.
Okay. So Mole, your third award?
Mixed gimmicks. I didn't have a name for it, I just called it mixed gimmicks, because why not? And that was for the fact Cody Rhodes, or Stardust before someone says that, has been mixing his gimmicks together. At the beginning of this, we got the kick-ass intro of the stuff from Raw when he was talking about who needs heroes, and he's doing his he's clapping and stuff. But it did it with like comic book text bubbles popping up with everything he said. It was fucking awesome. Then he beats R-Truth with the Queen's crossbow. Woo. Looks at R-Truth, gets the microphone and says, R-Truth, you have failed this city. And pulls out, like he used to when he broke his nose, pulls out a mask, but this time of Stardust's face, and tries to put it on him. And I was like, that's just awesome. And Adrian Neville came in to make the save, but I was like, that's awesome. I like his like Queen's crossbow, and you have failed this city. I think
was that on SmackDown?
Yeah, that was on SmackDown. It was awesome.
What is the Queen's crossbow? Is that the Crossroads?
I think it's like a variation on it.
Fair enough. I have to say, one thing did make me wince on Raw with Cody, though. It made me go, ooh, I don't know if that's in good or bad taste. And it's a fact because he decided to keep Stardust and stay in the heel persona. And I don't know if he decided he wanted to say this or if they wrote it for him. And I don't know if you guys noticed. But when he was cutting that promo on the Titantron to Adrian Neville after Neville's match, he mentioned, like you said, who needs heroes? I'm going to destroy all your heroes, kind of thing. And he was starting to list off heroes, and he mentions his father. He mentions Dusty. I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's like Dusty's catchphrase thing. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait, did you just kind of piss on your father for a gimmick? I mean, I understand, okay, it's the gimmick, but I'm just sitting here thinking, isn't that a little too soon? Like, kind of like with the whole, like, Paul Bearer's death thing and King's heart attack. I'm like, isn't that a little too soon to be pulling that out for heel heat? Like, especially, and the thing is, especially coming from Cody of all people, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like that or not. That kind of makes me cringe.
I don't think that was for heel heat.
Okay.
Because if you noticed it, he did it when he did Heroes, and he was listing them as the greatest heroes wrestling's ever seen, and one of them was his dad.
No, so but he was listing them as heroes that he thought were shit. He was like, these are your heroes. They're complete crap. What you need is a villain. And I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah, but he also said with the heroes, he also said, well, you regard me as a villain, but I'm not a villain. And he also mentions that he has no time for these labels of heroes and villains. He just is. So it didn't seem like it's not like I don't know, like Eddie's dead type moment, or Eddie's in hell like Randy Orton did. This just seemed more like he put his father in the same category as like the best heroes in wrestling, which makes sense.
Yeah, he did, but I don't know, just to me the way he said it, maybe I interpreted it wrong, but the way he said it is like, yeah, he put him in the company of these other great legends or whatever, but then turned around and basically said these legends are shit. You should believe in Stardust, kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that. That's a little too soon, man, especially coming from you. Because I believe he said something, he called him something along the lines of like son of a plumber or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, did he just reference Dusty, really? It's like,
Baby
oh, I
Mario.
don't know if I like that.
Yeah, but it's like I said, I think it was just more of putting him in that esteem. And to be fair, with Dusty and stuff, as Cody's mentioned in the past and stuff in various interviews, he was always one of the ones that wanted stuff to be used as soon as possible, and he's waited weeks for this. This has been long. It's been longer for him to make a Dusty reference than it took for Randy Orton or Batista to remind people Eddie was dead.
I also found it interesting. I don't know if you noticed. I found it interesting. He started to slip with the accent. Like his actual accent started to come out when he was cutting his promo, to the point that he kind of sounded like Dusty. I'm like, dude, your accent's slipping there. You kind of sound like you, dude.
And then he said, like a boss.
Yeah. And speaking of accents, Bray Wyatt was off because I was listening to his promo. It was a decent promo, but it seemed like for at least half of that promo, he forgot he was supposed to be from Louisiana. Because half the time I'm listening to the promo, I'm like, wait, is that Bo Dallas? Because they're brothers, so they have basically the same voice. They have a very similar voice, and I'm assuming that Husky Harris's actual voice is more like what Bo Dallas sounds like. Because I'm assuming Bo's is basically his voice, and so he was cutting the promo, and I'm listening to it, and the accent started to go away to the point that it started to sound like Bo Dallas. So I assumed, okay, his accent's going away. I'm like, that just sounds weird. Hearing, the whole like, Luke Harper is my family, and I'm the new face of fear, coming like out of with Bo Dallas's voice. I'm like, no, that just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So is it better to have the voice of Bo or the face of Bo?
Both.
And don't worry, that is a total nerd reference that I don't even fully understand myself.
Yeah, I'd say it's better to have both. We need Bo. But with like I said, with the Stardust stuff, he's always slipped in and out of his voice when he does it, Jeff. Because since the beginning, the idea was meant to be it was a struggle between him and Cody inside, and since the beginning, he's always switched the voice on and off-ish during promos.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't hate, and I'm wondering where this is going. Obviously, besides the obvious Arrow feud, I don't know if that's going to be like, when Arrow defeats him, or when the Green Arrow defeats him, does that mean he's going to go back to Cody, or does that mean he's going to be Stardust and be a villain? Because honestly, like I mentioned in the past, I wanted Cody back. I'm really loving comic book of supervillain Cody. I don't know why. It's wonderful. Stardust is wonderful as a comic villain.
Yeah, Stardust is awesome, but I still want Cody back. I think he needs to come back as Cody.
See, ironically, I think he's getting better publicity as Stardust.
Possibly.
Who?
It's working for him. It's a good gimmick.
It is.
I mean, he's
Not
having
sure.
fun with it, too. He seems like really into it, so that makes it believable.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they would play any of that on NXT, Rick. Because I wasn't sure if you've seen any of his interruptions with the comic stuff, because it's just funny with like the drawings.
No, I saw that one from weeks ago with the versus screen that was him versus Neville.
Nice. Which that's weird in itself. It seems like from what they've tweeted about and from the way the feud's been built and stuff, it seems like this is meant to be him versus Green Arrow. But Adrian Neville's in there more the thing, and they keep trading wins between the two of them and stuff. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be Green Arrow wrestling Stardust, or if he's just going to make an appearance like RoboCop. Or like Sting did, if someone wants to be more modern. You know what I mean? He might just appear in like a couple of seconds and save Adrian Neville.
I think what would be awesome is if he came down with Adrian Neville as like his manager. I think that'd be awesome. So you have the Green Arrows standing at ringside. That'd be awesome.
Either would work. But back to Hammy.
All right. My third award for the week is the Added in the Game award. On NXT, the jobber team of Dawson and Wilder. I don't know, just some nobodies, but they actually got a win, which surprised me. But they had a pretty cool tag team finisher where they bounced poor Enzo off the ropes, and then one of them lifted him up like they were gonna do a 3D, So like that's for, and then the second guy did like basically a code breaker to him. That's what kind of what it looked like. I'm not sure like if that was the intent, but it looked really cool, and I was like, ooh, that's a nice one. It's no flip into RKO, but I do like it.
Maybe they'll stick around. They could be the tag team version of the 1-2-3 Kid.
If that goes in the game, then I just got mine in Jim's finisher. Jim, go long! Doom!
I've seen his videos. Is he capable of going short?
Touche.
Shout out to my man Jim, wherever he may dwell.
He's going pretty short right now, as in he hasn't said anything for the past half hour.
Heyo.
I've been talking, and it's only been about 10 minutes.
It feels like it's been a lot longer than that.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Indeed.
And we have fun at Richter's Playhouse.
Bad goes.
Say racist Hogan. Ding, 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 ding.
Ah.
You said the secret word!
Ah.
As opposed to Hogan who said the naughty word.
Mhm.
I still facepalm every time.
Cowboy Curtis just looks in the window, just shakes his head disapprovingly.
I still facepalm every time I see that Gozer was originally supposed to be Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah,
Like, really?
To be fair, it was meant to be a more comedy at one point.
Yeah.
Which it was still a comedy, I'm not going to say it wasn't. But I like the balance they struck between, I don't know what you'd call it, like realistic-ish and comedy at once.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great balance. That's what made it a good movie. But that's a discussion for another day.
And a Marshmallow Man.
And a Marshmallow Man.
And a Marshmallow Man.
And a Slimer in a pear tree. Yeah, it's back to the Ivory Tower.
All right, so on to our match and promo for the week. With your match and promo, take it away, Jim.
Alrighty. My match, I gave it to Cena vs. Rollins because I didn't really see any of the earlier matches because, as usual, I missed the first hour of Raw a little bit more, and then we were doing the meeting. So, for what I did see with Cena Rollins, aside from the broken nose, it was a pretty good match. So I give that my promo. I gave it to Bray and Luke because that was basically the only promo I saw. So, yeah. Because I will give credit to Bray and Luke. It didn't seem like they were into their promo and like they were really trying to push over, why they were back together and how they were going to take down Roman Reigns. So, more power to them.
I still liked when they linked arms and sung the Laverne and Shirley song.
That would have been awesome. I'd pay to see that.
That would be hilarious.
$9.99.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, make it a network exclusive. That'd be awesome.
Now I'm just waiting for
And
Eric Rowan to come back from his injury so he can join them. We can have the whole group back together.
They should do that. Network exclusive show of WWE recreates old TV.
yes, like recreate title sequences from old TV.
Like Beverly Hills 90210, starring the younger NXT wrestlers with Triple H as the Luke Perry character of Dylan.
Yes.
Although Triple H might be too young to play that character.
Oh my God! I could just, I'm just picturing like Tyler Breeze and there, like, be like, he looks the same. What did he change? Oh, I get. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, your match and promo of the night.
All right, my match is Sasha Banks versus Paige, where Sasha wins. That was a pretty good match. I still really like Sasha's finishing move. banknote. I like that. She does a backcracker and rolls into like a crossface. I'm like, that's awesome.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss, Michael.
Yeah,
That's
that match.
really good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good impression.
That sounds so much like JBL. I'm tempted to kick you out.
Damn. I can't do
No.
it. Richter has to do it.
And I will also say that doesn't sound any better coming from anyone else's accent in this conversation. Because I don't think any of us are urban enough for that.
But yeah, that match was really good. Though, for some reason, I got the feeling Paige was holding back. I mean, unless she's just not as good as the others, because I've heard so much about how good she is, and she is good in the ring, but seeing her wrestle Sasha Banks, it felt either she was trying too hard to keep up with Sasha Banks and failing, or she wasn't going all out and probably should have, because it would have been a great match, because I think Sasha Banks could have taken it. But either way, it was a good match.
It was.
Mhm.
I was gonna say it was better than the other Divas match, which ended with Alicia Fox having a damn concussion.
No, that's okay.
The match they didn't show on Hulu. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of Hulu, my promo of the night, because again I watched it on Hulu, so most of the promos weren't there.
Oh, you gave it to Game of Thrones episode?
Pretty much. No. I gave it to the promo at the top of the show with Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. That was pretty good. It's like, now, I think we should put it to the people. It was deafening here a moment ago. Would you guys like to see John Cena versus Seth Rollins for the WWE title? Yeah, yes. Well, I think that's pretty conclusive. And I can't remember exactly what she said, but she's like, but I'm going to say no. So it's just the way it was crafted and cut, it was really well done. And the fact that Triple H barely said anything made it even better. Because he just said the little 2-3 minute thing at the end of this is what the match is actually going to be. So it's like, okay, that works. Because I mean, you have Seth Rollins, you have Cena, you have just the four in the ring. They're all really good at cutting promos. When you put them all together, it makes for a decent promo. So yeah, I like that promo. Set up for the main event.
Nice.
I still prefer the UK's Renee Young promo.
UK's Renee Young promo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest for the night.
Commercials.
We didn't even get guests for tonight. We just said, please welcome.
Oh, okay.
I wish we got guests for tonight.
All right, so Mole, your match and promo of the night or the week?
My match of the week, which I'm pretty sure Richter knew this was coming. Sasha versus Paige, with Sasha winning via submission, because Richter was actually on Skype with me and Simon and Pew while we were playing Cards Against Humanity and stuff all throughout most of Raw until the meeting started. And
nice.
And during it, like I even said to him, holy crap, that was a great match.
Yeah.
Both divas were fucking awesome during that match. And it did a great job of showcasing, like it needed to, Sasha to the audience that don't watch NXT. And I'm like, that's what this was. And I'm like, that's pretty great. Like, both divas did great, and it was just fucking awesome. The second Divas match wasn't terrible. Before Jim says it's still better. Before Jim says that again, second Divas match wasn't even terrible. But just in comparison, this is better than any Divas match I've seen in the last year.
I didn't say that other match was bad. I just said Alicia Fox doesn't know how to take a move, which should surprise no one.
I didn't say you said it was bad, but you did word it as it's better than the other one. But yeah, I say the other one was still good. But yeah, this I gave, like I said, I gave the match to that one. And like I said, it was probably the best Divas match we've had in like a year, which was fucking awesome. And the promo, which I touched upon a little bit earlier, I gave it to Stardust's interrupting of Neville on Raw. Because that was awesome from the very beginning, with which I can't even do his like noise he was doing as he was clapping his hands, and then the whole like, oh yeah, heroes, you're talking about your heroes, and it's just wonderful. He is great in the Stardust role. I fucking love Stardust.
You have failed your city,
and I can't wait for him to actually be in 2K16.
Yeah,
Nice.
So that was my match and promo. Over to our lovely host.
is it wrong? I kind of want the Green Arrow as a DLC character for 2K16.
Why? So someone could fight Terminator?
Ha!
Yes.
there you go. What do you think the Terminator's finisher is going to be?
I'm assuming he's going to do Lex Luger's bionic arm since he's made of metal.
That'd be appropriate.
He does twin magic, and it's called I'll Be Back.
Yes.
Because if I recall correctly, already in the move list, is there not a move already called Hasta La Vista? I feel like that's already the name of a move.
Probably. He needs Power the Punch, and it's called Talk to the end.
There you
Yes.
go.
I really do hope they do the dumb bionic elbow, because oh, come on, like I said, he's made of metal, it would totally work.
Yeah.
No,
Just like if Big Show ever falls on him, he needs to be crushed, like when he was being crushed by the Crusher, like with the skeleton. Like I mentioned to Rick, instead of bleeding, he needs to show metal on his face.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hope they got the rights to the music, because he totally needs to come out to the theme that do 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 do.
Yeah.
Based on the fact Arnold Schwarzenegger got scanned, and I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger at least owns a lot of the Terminator stuff, or is at least big enough with the Terminator people like Rambo, like Sylvester Stallone is with Rambo and all that, and he even helps write some of it and is involved with some of it. It's pretty guaranteed. I mean, they even had the rights to the music at WrestleMania 31, I believe, was last year. Which I'm hoping Triple H's King of Kings WrestleMania entrance is in there, because if it is, I'm totally taking that. Not only do I get a crown, but I get Terminators. That's fucking awesome.
Probably not going to be in there as a usable one, because his entrance has never been in the game as usable. It might be in there for like story or for universe mode if you play as Triple H and put him at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm guaranteeing it's probably not, but let's face facts with how these podcasts go. Most of the shit we want to be in the game isn't in there, so I want this to be in there. I want that.
I also have to.
That entrance was terrible watching it on TV. But
Yes.
it like I said to you, at a certain point, it went to be that territory of this is like a B movie. It's sort of it's like an enjoyable train wreck. I'm like, why is he holding up a bag of Terminator heads like they're oranges and just throwing them to the side? There was no point to this, and I kind of want that, so I get my crown and I get Terminator stuff.
I have to wonder, with Arnold being in this game, is he going to have the glowing red eye?
Like I said, yes, when you bust him open.
That'd be awesome.
I didn't like the fact it's Terminator 1 and 2, like I mentioned the other week and stuff. It should have been Terminator 1 and Terminator Genesis.
Yes.
Or is that film's known over here, Terminator Mega Drive.
Ah.
And the drive with a Y.
Yes. Like over here, there's that religious group that totally loved the Book of Mega Drive.
Yeah, isn't that the one you're in?
I would be in that.
The rule of one.
And just like I totally imagine Rick would totally sign up for Scientology.
Nope.
And until he found out those aliens that were coming down were not Transformers, and he's like, oh, we're done here. Well, you had one job, make them Transformers. When the sequel comes out, make it Optimus Prime and we'll talk.
Scientology 2.
The sequel.
Scientology too. Oh hell no.
Well, why not? One of the biggest religions in the world was formed with a New Testament.
The winner and New Testament.
I now want to see Paul Heyman, since he's Jewish, talk about the Old Testament as the reigning, undefeated testament.
The one reading the one behind the one.
My client, the Book of Mega Drive. Rapture City, bitch.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, is that what he calls his bedroom when his wife is in there?
I want to see him do that though, because then he could, like, whenever he's like reading or talking stuff, he's like, an excerpt from the Book of Paul, and then he just says stuff.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
He's already started to use the 11th commandment.
Wow, I can't believe we're talking about turning Paul Heyman into an evangelist.
He's pretty
Awesome.
close. Anyway.
He needs to turn into an evangelist and then become the manager of the New Day.
Yes.
There you go.
And he will feud with the real head of Scientology, Vince Russo.
Nice.
Oh, you thought it was gods? They're aliens. Russo swear. I believe that's on page 2 of the book.
Probably. Nobody can get that far.
No. If you're going to do it right. The feud with the real head of Scientology, L. Ron Simmons.
Wouldn't it be Vince? Because there'd be like an alien, like, oh no, it's Xenu. He pulls it off, and he's like, it was me all along.
There you go.
It's Christopher Nowinski. That's why we haven't seen him.
Who better than Kenyon?
Yeah.
Our weird discussions are awesome.
I know. Story designer, come back.
What about me? What about Scientology? He comes out with a shopping cart full of Scientology books.
Comes up with their, what is it, the emotion scanning machine? That's what he comes out with.
Mm.
All right. So, that was your match and promo, correct, Mole?
That was.
Okay. So for my match, it was on NXT. It was Charlotte versus Dana Brooke. That was a pretty solid match. I actually thought there was going to be more interference from Emma, but there wasn't, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. Match actually, it wasn't one of those like, oh, went. Well, it wasn't. It was just like a pure match, if that makes sense. I thought there would be way more.
Be more story driven.
Yeah, more theatrics, if you will.
Yeah,
But it actually went off without a hitch.
I'm just glad there's some bit of news this week involving wrestling in a positive light with the word Dana.
It's true. But my promo of the night, also from NXT, was I don't know if you remember, a couple weeks ago there was Bull Dempsey. They were making fun of him because he was fat, which was kind of funny, a little insulting. But this time he had a promo video where it showed like a flashback of when he got yelled at, and then he he stood up and brushed the chips off and threw them out, and then he's like, "It's time to get bull fit." And then he's like trying on different, exercise stuff, and eventually gets this like tight, windbreaker jumpsuit thing, and he's like working out and just doing terribly at it, and there's a guy like one of those super jack dudes at the performance center like lifting up a barbell. He's got like the barbell with no weights on it, just the bar. Him trying to like climb that rope from gym class, but side note, fuck that rope. And there's some guy climbing it, and then he of course can't do it. And then it's funny because at the end they have like some where he's like starting to get better, like where he ran up to the whole top of the stairs and still got winded, but he made it up the stairs. And then there's one where he's like pretending to climb the rope, and there's like one of those jack dudes with him on his shoulders who's like standing up, so it looks like he's climbing the rope.
See, WWE likes to use legends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They totally need to bring back the body donners for this. Sonny and Skip. That would be amazing. I liked Sonny and Skip. I don't know why. I'll admit, Skip was but I liked Sonny enough that it made him interesting. I was only young at the time, but I was like, oh my god, I like Sonny. I don't know why. She's really interesting. I like her personality. Even though they were both dressed like a white version of Mr. Motivator.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, and I like the name Time to Get Bullfit. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Do you think at some point they're going to do a before and after shot where they hire a skinny wrestler to play him after the fact?
I'm hoping they do, because that would be hilarious.
They bring back Gilbert and dress him up as Bull Dempsey.
All right, so after that's on to our discussion. Oh, yeah.
They need to do that with Ryback. They need to have Gilbert come out as Ryback without the venom.
Or that's him when he's like, I had a little time off for my injury. I've lost a little weight, and just comes out as Gilbert.
I bet it'll probably be a step down in Gilbert's career.
Probably.
Ouch.
Hey, if Ryback's a step down from Goldberg, then if he's a Goldberg impersonator, becoming a Ryback impersonator must be a step down. It's simple maths.
I actually like to think that Gilbert just, like when he gets angry, goes Super Saiyan and just becomes Ryback. That's like 100% Gilbert or something, or like maybe 75%, and then final form is Goldberg.
Yes.
Then he goes God mode and he becomes the Big Show.
Yeah. Ryback's basically like Trunks when he fought Cell, where he's got the muscles, but he doesn't quite have the speed to go Super Saiyan 2 yet. Then when he's Goldberg, he's in shape based on his own stuff, so he's got the speed, and he's still managing to retain the power.
Yes. So is that one of the shows that they're going to remake, is Dragon Ball Z?
Yes. Yes, they will.
And then when he goes Super Saiyan God, he becomes Stone Cold Steve Austin.
With
do-do-do-do-do-do.
with Bray Wyatt as Yajirobe.
Yes.
I thought you were going to have Bull Dempsey as
Seth Rollins as Vegeta with J&J as twin Nappas.
Oh no, Bull Dempsey, well, I'm keeping him for something special. He's going to be the Doria.
Nice. Why aren't they doing this?
Yes. Why aren't they doing that? Like,
Come on, Charles, you're our friend.
like Fandango and Kane as both forms of Zarbon.
You're going to say something similar. The Bella twins are lunch.
Wait, shouldn't J&J be Jason Birdie or whatever? Or Berta, whatever it is?
Burger?
Yeah. No, that's the NXT tag team champion dudes, because one of them's like from Australia, so he'd sound right like the dub.
Although I will say it would be a shame. Yeah. And I will say it'd be a shame if they ever did do Dragon Ball Z WWE. Right now, at least. Because, like I've said, ironically, for Dragon Ball Z casting, if we're using an American cast, I've always wanted Hulk Hogan as Mr. Satan.
Yes!
It's too perfect for it to not work. But now, unfortunately, he's going to be replaced by someone else in that role, like Sergeant Slaughter or something.
No, let's be fair here. We all know, well, we should all know, the video game series Dead or Alive. Tina's father, Bass, is clearly Hulk Hogan. But when they made a movie, they got Kevin Nash. So there's your Mr. Satan. See, he's good at replacing Hogan.
He is.
He's got it on his resume.
And Triple H as Hercule.
That is Mr. Satan.
But shouldn't Vince be him and then Steph could be Vidal?
Then would that make Triple H go on?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, they have a daughter, so hey.
I'd say Triple H was more like souped up Cell. He was obsessed with just standing in a ring for days on end, almost cutting a promo. And kept talking about the game. It's like, which fun fact for you over here on CNX when they had the Cell Saga, they did advertise it with the music of "Time to Play the Game," and it was Triple H's theme song. No joke. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Nice. I feel like Kane and Undertaker should be Frieza and Cooler.
Yes.
So would Cena be Goku?
Yes.
Sadly, yes.
I don't think there's debate. I think that just would happen regardless of whatever was cast.
Yep. With
Yep.
Randy Orton as Vegeta.
Yes, that'd be amazing. And Big Show as Nappa.
And Jerry the King Lawler as Master Roshi.
And
Yes.
Brooklyn Brawler is is Yamcha. Oh, poor
Yep.
Yamcha.
Yeah.
Until they eventually have to go to Russia, but they can't quite stop it in time, and they unfortunately release Majin Rusev.
So if Cena is Goku, does that make Zack Ryder Krillin?
Yes.
Pretty much.
I was gonna say, given the nickname that somebody knows here, wouldn't Kevin Owens be Yajirobe?
Nice.
Good work. I love we're just fantasy casting with WWE now.
We are.
This is really
We-
bad. This is bad because this podcast is now going to go completely bipolar because we're going to go from this to a really depressing conversation.
That's true.
Is
Why?
it wrong that
Is
I
it
now
time
want to
to go
make
to
this a
Larry
separate
Phoenix?
show? Oh,
What was that?
ouch.
I said, right, are we about to go to Larry the Phoenix?
Ha!
But is it wrong that I want to take this idea and use it maybe with Richter as a host as a new show of just WWE
Yeah.
fantasy casting?
Oh, I was going to say, it is. That's Punch Star.
No, I mean just strictly of let's fantasy cast something with WWE, and we just randomly choose things to fantasy cast with WWE, and that's the show. Like, one episode could be DBZ, one episode, you know what I mean? One episode could be like Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
On one episode, we have to say, oh my god, I can't wait to see Biker Taker as the Fonz.
Yes.
It'd be worth it just to see him pull up, just with the bandana and everything, just stares at the camera and just goes, "Hey," and then the
That
lights
would
go
be
out.
I would have cast Goldberg in that role, but we all know what happens when he punches inanimate objects.
Wow. Because I kind of want to try to fantasy cast like old shows and like movies and stuff with WWE. I think that'd make for a very entertaining show. But I don't know what you guys think.
So does that mean John Cena would be Richie Cunningham, and then B Squared would be Chuck, who went upstairs and never came back?
Wow.
And Chris Benoit would be Mork.
And that would make Vince.
I like it.
Ouch.
Okay then.
He's trying to bring us back.
Apparently.
Wow.
It was a funny joke. We always make inappropriate comments.
It's true.
I was
Marcus
gonna say that
more
make
than
Vince
most.
and right. I was gonna say that make Vince and Linda. Fucking, I forgot their names now.
Howard and Marion, you fail.
Yeah, Howard and Marion.
I always get confused between you and Richter, but I think you're the oldest person here. How are you the one that doesn't remember Happy Days?
To be fair, that's easy to be confused. It does get retconned a lot.
Yeah.
I think the more appropriate question is, how the hell do you actually remember Happy Days? You're so young.
Nick at Night, dumbass. Nick at Night.
I was gonna say it was on repeats like crap over here. I used to watch that with Bewitched and what do you call it, like Dream of Genie.
Yeah, Bewitched, I Dream of Genie, I Love Lucy, and the one we're talking about, Happy Days. They were like the lineup.
And for some reason, Wings.
Wow.
Yeah, they did put Wings on there, Casey. What the hell did they put? Why did the hell did they have Wings on there?
I don't know. I just remember at some point it was like syndicated everywhere, and I'm like,
That's
the show's
true.
not that good. It wasn't terrible, but
it did make Tony Shalhoub's career.
I know. Well, yeah.
That's
but
right.
it's like, it was like in syndication like everywhere at some point, and I'm like, why? Like, why not Cheers? Cheers is awesome.
Cheers is great. Cheers is good.
Cheers is awesome.
I was like, Cheers is awesome. Cheers is awesome, but not as awesome as Frasier.
I
How
agree
did this
with
go from WWE to TV shows?
Yeah, this is supposed to be, well, because they don't want to drag it to Larry the Phoenix, because apparently my show is terrible. TV talk a lot.
Well, WWE is a TV show.
Your show's
Guys,
not terrible, Jim. It's the TNA of X-Pound.
Ow.
Oh man.
Gee, maybe we should be talking about R.I.P. Larry the Phoenix instead of R.I.P. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
That's why last time when Richter was on there, he had to go on there as brother Richter Cage.
You've been caged.
Wow.
I'm kidding, Jim. I'm kidding. People still watch TNA.
Oh.
They do.
They do?
I do. Enough.
Only because Ring of Honor was shown before it or something.
Yeah. Only because
See-
a contract with Ring of Honor where they would pay him on there.
Yeah, only because they're being invaded by Global Force Wrestling.
I figured it was the same reason I quote unquote watched Seinfeld, was it was just on between two shows and I didn't want to turn off the TV.
It was a show about nothing.
Actually,
I know, that's about as much attention as I paid to it.
I'm going to make the case it wasn't a show about nothing. I've mentioned that in the past. You want to see a proper comedy that was actually about nothing and was actually really well done, you watch the new Louis C.K. show.
Fair enough.
That one seems to be about nothing. Seinfeld actually had a purpose, had a story. They were just so forgettable that people like to pretend it was about nothing.
Fair enough.
But yes, I believe somewhere around here we're supposed to be mourning something.
Yes.
Ah, yes, let us move on to the discussion of Marcus Shadow's latest victim.
Well, I had a different theory about that.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm not going to say it on the air, I'll say it afterwards.
But sadly, a few days ago, Rowdy Roddy Piper passed away. First saw it on Twitter or something where someone retweeted Keith David, and I was like, oh, no, Keith David is sad. Now I'm sad.
Mm. Yeah, if anybody who doesn't know, he did go peacefully. He suffered a cardiac arrest in his sleep, so it wasn't anything painful.
He's now conducting interviews in the Great Pit in the Sky.
That was what I said in my Facebook post. Is now he can have Warrior in the big pit in the sky.
I just picture he's talking to St. Peter and then breaks a coconut over his head.
I have to say, really?
Yes.
Really on the Piper's Pit of dreams of like the death or something like that, you don't go with Dusty Rhodes, one of the greatest talkers. You go with Ultimate Warrior. Who would watch that?
I would.
Yeah, see, Richter would.
There's no way that can't be legendary. Like Ultimate Warrior cutting a promo.
Like, I can't tell right now. Do you have the answer? Should I change the questions yet?
Yeah.
See, just by virtue of it's Rowdy Roddy Piper, I could see him literally barging out of the pearly gates, dropping down to hell, and interviewing Chris Benoit.
Who?
Exactly.
Musical number with Johnny Gat.
There you go.
And now today in the pit, Hulk Hogan's career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, on topic, I will say something fun to do with that is apparently the last company he was with, where he filmed the Piper's Pit, they're going to be putting his last ever Piper's Pit that was unaired on YouTube for all to see on Monday night.
And who was in the pit?
I don't know. They just all they said was it was his last pit and that they're going to put it up there live.
Which company?
I don't remember the company.
Fair enough. We shall see what it is then.
Yeah, you go ahead, go Google.
No, we'll do it later. I do know WWE put out a video of his last pit with them, which was Rusev and Lana.
Yeah, this one it was some company. I can't remember the company's name. It's like a smaller one.
Fair enough.
Because sadly, which is worth noting, which WWE will definitely be not mentioning, he lost his Legends contract like a week before he died.
Really?
Ooh.
Well, because he supported Hulk Hogan?
No, like a week or two before he died, before the Hulk Hogan stuff, he lost his Legends contract due to all that controversy with the podcasts and all that.
What was it? What controversy with the podcast?
WWE didn't like the fact he went public with the fact him and the podcast people and stuff have gone on record as saying the reason he was kicked off the podcast was because he made a joke about Stone Cold and Austin didn't like him doing an impression of him. Which I was like, really? On your podcast, people are always doing impressions. What the fuck?
Yep. Speaking of Austin's podcast, as cool as I think it's going to be, does anybody else think it's a bad idea to put the known woman beater in a podcast with a woman? No? Just me?
I feel like Paige could handle herself, but maybe I'm just wrong.
To be fair, he doesn't beat women. He only beats his wife or his girlfriend. Since Paige isn't dating him, she'll be protected.
True. Fair enough. That's good.
But I actually think that podcast will be good. However,
it should be good. Yeah, Paige.
Stone Cold doesn't hit other people's cars, just his own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the thing of the Rowdy Roddy Piper stuff as well. Like I said, it's a real shame because, like I said, Rowdy Roddy Piper, as I mentioned to Rick as well. Like I saw like Bret Hart's statement he released and stuff, which was really sad. And like Bret Hart mentioned in that, and he's mentioned it in other interviews, and it's even in one of his books I've got in there. He always puts Rowdy Roddy Piper as one of the only legends of his era that was willing to put young stars over. Like, literally, WrestleMania 8, which is the one before Hulk Hogan was in one he wasn't scheduled to appear in, Rowdy Roddy Piper put Bret Hart over.
Nice.
Something none of the other ones were willing to do at the time, because they were all worried that their generation was coming to an end, and they didn't want it to end, and they wanted to stick around in the main spotlight. And it's like, eventually, you have to pass that torch, like we mentioned with, like, Cena's been doing that recently to his credit with the US title. He's been passing it a bit. Yeah, he's winning, but he lost to like Kevin Owens, which is a new star. He's made like Adrian Neville look like he was about to win, and actually lost to him by DQ and stuff. And it's like that looks really, you know what I mean? He's actually doing a good job of putting people over, which like
he gives his solo career back.
Yeah, which, like I said, Rowdy Roddy Piper kept doing that and kept trying to put people over, and even his Piper's Pits, when he kept coming back, he was doing them, and he'd take a star that people weren't that interested in, do a Piper's Pit with them, and they became bigger. Just by virtue that they appeared in the pit, which spawned, like I said, Piper's Pit, it spawned stuff like the highlight reel, Miz TV, the Peep Show, the Cutting Edge, all the other ones like this. Even Carlito's Cabana. Yeah, like I said, there's been loads like that. Even Shawn Michaels had the Heartbreak Hotel at one point.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one.
And it's like...
And, of course, Miz TV, the greatest segment in the history of WWE.
I mentioned Miz TV.
Did you? I didn't hear that. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mentioned Miz TV. But, yeah, it's a case of, like I said, that's inspired all of this stuff, which that's pretty huge.
That is huge.
And those segments, some of those segments, like everyone's seen the one where he bashes the coconut on Jimmy Snuka's head and stuff like that. And there's a reason they're so huge, because Piper was a great villain.
Oh, yeah.
It also makes me sad to realize he's never been world champion.
Nope.
in WWE at least.
Yeah.
I assume one of the other companies may have put a belt on him, but in WWE he never wanted the title.
Nope.
Because he was more happy just being the guy that people wanted to see get beat up that pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. I mean, he made a great heel.
He did. Also, speaking of people who don't know how to let go and push the next generation, I did see our good friend Mr. Hogan also put out a statement saying how much he cared about Roddy Piper and how Roddy Piper was his best friend and everything. So that was nice to see.
Nice to see, but maybe not nice in the regard that now everyone sees him as a racist.
Yeah, probably not. Although Piper came out and defended Hogan too. He was on his back. He said, "I don't think Hulk Hogan's a racist. It's private moment. People say things they don't mean. It happens. Hulk Hogan's not a racist."
Yeah, to be fair, that's what I said as well. I said,
Yeah.
I said we don't know if he actually is racist or if that was just unrecorded. Or he has been racist in other recordings, like the one with his son in prison. But still,
Yeah.
Someone
all
just needs to get him a
alleged.
dictionary. That's all.
yeah, he doesn't know what that word means. But like I said, yeah, Rowdy Roddy Piper, like I mentioned with the Bret Hart thing. Fun fact: technically speaking, he was involved in 2 WrestleManias with Bret, almost back to back. If we disregard the one Hulk Hogan interfered in, because let's forget that. Rowdy Roddy Piper put him over at 8 at number. I think it was number. I swear it must. Yeah, I think it was number 10. He was the referee in the world title match. I think it was the WrestleMania. He was the referee. It was one of them. He was definitely a special referee because I remember him doing that thing where Yokozuna went up for the bonsai drop, and you see Rowdy Roddy Piper sort of lean onto the ropes, which knocks Yokozuna off, and Bret pins him.
Nice.
And Jim's gone quiet. I assume he's googling something.
No, just listening to the discussion.
Fair enough.
Now, Roddy Piper will be missed.
Yup.
Yep. Yeah, and like with the recent Richter saw and stuff as well, he was in Saints Row.
Yes, he was.
How many other wrestlers let themselves be like a complete parody of themselves in Saints Row?
True.
That was awesome when he was in Saints Row.
Because even some of the other wrestlers that have appeared in that have been playing other characters. They've not been playing themselves in that role. And him just appearing in Saints Row as Rowdy Roddy Piper as like the fucking homie you can pick up was awesome.
I still need to play that game.
Fair enough.
All right. So, do we have anything else to add, or any other closing remarks before I take us out?
I was waiting, but I wasn't sure if anyone had seen anything with him in Passaro or had any memories of him. No.
Not really. Most of his wrestling stuff was before I started watching wrestling, so the only stuff I remember from the wrestling stuff is when he came back as a legend and did the odd Piper's Pit, maybe punched someone in the face here and there, but that's about it. Piper's Pits were always entertaining. He was never afraid to get in someone's face, I'll tell you that much. And tell him what he thought.
Yep. It was also really fun, those adverts with him, if you remember. I can't remember what they were for, but it was over there when he's like smacking people with chairs and stuff in the advert.
I vaguely remember that. Oh, Roddy Piper was always up for just about anything because he's done some movies and TV as well, and he's dabbled in pretty much everything. So
He also appeared on RoboCop.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Indeed.
You reckon they're gonna put him in the game in this year?
I'm really not sure, because like I said, he didn't have a Legends contract anymore, so I don't know if WWE can use him properly in games and new likenesses and stuff, because yeah, they kind of burnt that bridge.
Mm.
Now, I could also see his family or anything like that actually agreeing to it, because it's Rowdy Roddy Piper, and that'd be more for the fans, and it would
Yeah.
make the company money. So I could see him agreeing to it. So it's not going to be like an Owen Hart situation where we're less likely to see Owen Hart stuff. Even though I do believe they've released a new DVD, or they're planning to, but I'm still waiting. But like I can totally see them doing that too. Soon we'll have a Rowdy Roddy Piper DVD again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The inevitable special on the network.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Surprised they haven't pumped one out yet.
To be fair, with like the Dusty Rhodes one, didn't like when that wasn't it like at least like almost a week later, because it was like right on that Raw afterwards. And since the podcast's this week, I'm guessing it's going to be sometime during the week, like after SmackDown, say.
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause
They
he
might
only-
take it for the next Raw.
Yeah, because he only died a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago. So it's going to be a case of they need enough time to film this, put this together, and put that out there. So it needs at least a couple of days, and then they'll have it up.
True.
Because they haven't even had time to put up the RIP stuff at the beginning of one of the shows that they've, like Raw or SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure they'll do something tomorrow on Raw.
Yeah, they'll at least mention it. I don't know if it'll be a blown out thing. But
I imagine it'll be a splash page at the beginning.
Mhm.
Maybe some mentions.
Fair enough. I can actually see them doing the thing where they bring out the whole locker room and have the moment of silence and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
I could see them doing that for Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I could see him doing that as well. Like, I guarantee you at some point on Raw, or well, almost guarantee you, there's going to be something like Miz TV or something,
Mm-hmm.
so they can mention, like we did, of carrying on the tradition of Piper's Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Because WWE will want to try and jump on that before another company can. Of, oh, look, they're doing this like Rowdy Roddy Piper did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see them wanting to capitalize on that.
Shame they no longer have Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. That is too bad. See, Scottish.
But yeah, you can take us out then if you wanted to, Rick.
all right. So there you have it. Our match promo of the week and our awards, and unfortunately, the passing of Rowdy Roddy Piper, which we discussed. So I'd like to thank everyone here for joining me tonight, and hope everyone comes back next week for another week in wrestling. Thank you very much for listening, and good night.